The Garmin Fenix 5 came out in 2017, almost 4 years ago now. That's insane. The question we're asking ourselves today is the Garmin Fenix 5 worth picking up in 2020, going into 2021, or should you look at the other options available on the market? Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brendon, and on this channel, we talk all things running, from running shoe reviews to gear reviews to everything in between. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button right down below. It would really mean a lot. And while you're down there, maybe hit that like button. All right, let's get into the video. So I consider myself a pretty average user of GPS watches. All I really wanted to do is be able to track my activities accurately, so that's swimming, biking, and running. I wanted to have good battery life, enough for me to last a full Ironman, or if I want to do like an ultra distance race. And I wanted to be able to connect to all my different sensors. So that would be my heart rate monitor, my stride power meter, and my bike power meter, or anything else I may pick up, Garmin radars, anything like that. So I think that is a pretty modest ask, because the GPS watches coming out today have so many features that I don't think I would ever use. So what I want to do is talk to you guys about my year of use. I've actually used this watch for 16 months now, and I just want to kind of give you an idea of what to expect if you pick up the Fenix 5. So I wear it when I go to bed, I wear it when I'm at work, and I wear it for all my activities. If you want like a full technical spec breakdown of this, I'll leave a link to the DC Rainmaker review down below. That's what he's perfect at. For me, I'm just gonna tell you my experiences. So let's start with battery life. The Garmin Fenix 5 gives me about 2 weeks of battery life, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, just depending on how much I'm using GPS. But on average, I use GPS for about an hour a day, maybe a little bit more, and it gives me about 2 weeks, which is fantastic. And the battery life is actually the main reason why I upgraded from my Garmin 735 XT. I want to do a full Ironman, and the Garmin 735 XT only could last me about a half Ironman. If I was really fast, maybe it could last me a full Ironman, but I gotta face the facts. I'm just not that fast. So I had to go with the Garmin Fenix 5 for that better battery life. And like I said, that's about 2 weeks on 1 hour of GPS per day. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. So another reason why I picked up the Garmin Fenix 5 was for the barometric altimeter. And essentially what that does is just give you a better estimation of elevation gain. I was thinking about doing like trail races and all that stuff, so I wanted to have a good, accurate representation of the elevation profile I was going on. But as we all know, 2020 came around and just smoked me right in the mouth, so that's gonna have to wait for another day. But I have it available to me when I wanna do that. So if you want something that's gonna give you pretty accurate elevation profiles and grade estimation, so how steep the hill you're going up is, the Fenix 5 will give you all of that information. Now, in terms of GPS accuracy, the Garmin Fenix 5 has been fantastic. I just have to say that. So I live in a pretty wooded area, and I run through urban environments, so there's like buildings all around me sometimes, and I haven't had any issue in terms of GPS accuracy. Now, there have been maybe 3 to 5 runs where I understand what's happening, where when I look at the graph after the fact, it looks like I just shot out into the ocean and back and did a little swim, when that's just not accurate. So there have been times when it glitches, but that could be due to other external factors, such as, I don't know, some radiation in the air, or just buildings like I mentioned. Like, there's tons of things that can interfere with GPS watches, and no GPS watch is going to be 100% accurate 100% of the time. So in terms of GPS accuracy, the Fenix 5 has not let me down. So in terms of sensor compatibility, I've had 0 issues. I have a Stride foot pod that I use every single day. I have a HRM Pro by Garmin heart rate monitor. I have a Wahoo Ticker heart rate monitor, and I use the PowerTap P1 power pedals, and they all sync to this without issue. Now, there might be some like off-brand sensor that may not be compatible, but in terms of sensor compatibility, this does support ANT+, and I think it does Bluetooth as well, because it connects to my phone over Bluetooth, so I would assume that it could do like Bluetooth sensors, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong on that. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me in the comments, guys. Like I said, I'm no DC Rainmaker, I'm just an average consumer that likes to use GPS watches. And on heart rate monitors, the Garmin Fenix 5 does have an optical heart rate monitor, but guys, I just don't have good luck with optical heart rate monitors when I'm out there doing activities. Now, if I'm just going to bed or like sitting stationary, the optical heart rate monitor is pretty accurate. There have been times where like I look down and it's kind of weird readings, but who knows? I don't expect optical heart rate monitors to be 100% accurate for me. Probably not even 50% accurate, honestly. Like, I just don't have good luck. I have pretty bony wrists, so maybe if I put it up more on my forearm, it would be a bit more accurate. But if you really want best heart rate accuracy, pick up a chest strap. They're not that expensive, and they're excellent if you really want to get serious about heart rate training. So the optical heart rate monitor on this is suffice for me, where I want to monitor my resting heart rate when I'm going to sleep and that type of stuff. So I have no complaints because I just have realistic expectations for these things. So with all that information out of the way, just here is a straight up pros and cons list. Starting off with the annoyances, just because let's get the bad news out of the way first. So number one annoyance that I've had with this watch is that I'm limited to 4 data fields on a display at any given time. I want to be able to monitor my running power from my heart rate monitor. I know it gives you running power. I want to monitor my running power from my foot pod. I want to monitor my pace, my distance, and just time. Like, there's so many things I want to monitor, but I'm limited to 4 fields. So I have to constantly scroll through the menus, and it's kind of annoying. I don't really necessarily like that. So that is a big annoyance. I wish I could have like 5 or 6 fields on there. That would be ideal. And I think you can with newer watches. Another annoyance is that I can only have 2 Garmin Connect fields connected to an activity at any given time. So it's taken up currently by my HRM Pro giving me running power and the Stride Power Meter giving me running power. So I can't really do any others. It's kind of annoying. I don't even know if that's fixed on future releases. Someone let me know in the comment section down below. And the last annoyance could be kind of a pro as well, but it's very rugged and bulky and is definitely noticeable on your wrist. It's not like the Garmin 735 where I put it on and I barely knew it was there. You definitely notice the Fenix 5 sitting on your wrist. So with the annoyances out of the way, let's give this thing a little bit of praise. Number one is the excellent battery life. Like I said, 2 weeks using it for like an hour a day on GPS, wearing it all day monitoring heart rate, and it can last me like 2 weeks. And if it is gonna die, I can plug it in for like 10 minutes and get like an hour run out of it. It's ideal. The battery life is fantastic. Another thing is the GPS accuracy. Like I mentioned, it has only given me really bad readings maybe 3 to 5 times, and I use it almost every single day. So it's been ideal. GPS accuracy is the creme de la creme. Another pro is navigating the watch is super nice. Like, it has these nice buttons on the side and clicking them is so satisfying. And honestly, they've been pressed a lot and they have not lost their snappiness. It just feels premium. The construction of the watch is ideal. Like I said, it is rugged and heavy, but guys, it's fantastically built. The last pro is just honestly, I've been using it for 1.5 years and I don't get annoyed by it. And that is all I want in any product. I want to be able to buy a product, use it every single day, and not get annoyed by it. And that is exactly what the Fenix 5 has delivered. I haven't encountered any issues that I really want to throw this watch away and get a new one. It's just working, and it works very well. Yes, it's bulky, and yes, I guess I'm limited to 4 data fields, but I think that's more on myself than the watch. So I can live with that. So overall, I don't have too many annoyances with this watch. It's fantastic. There's much more to this watch than I'm mentioning right here. Like, for example, it can give you VO2 max estimations. It can give you like daily trading loads, all that stuff that you would expect in a top tier watch. And honestly, for those, I don't really understand what to do with the metrics, so I don't really use them. So that's why I didn't want to include it in this video, because I'd be speaking about something I have no experience with. Honestly, sometimes looking at those things just gives me anxiety, because it's like, you're detraining. Oh God, you're being unproductive. Oh God, you're not gonna be able to run 15 meters. Oh God, you're gonna have to recover for 48 hours. Just gives me anxiety, so I ignore those fields, but they're there if you want them. The Garmin Fenix 5 is available on Amazon for $250 US right now, or at least at the time of recording, and 329 Canadian dollars on Amazon Canada. They may fluctuate up and down, but keep an eye out for Black Friday deals coming up, because the Fenix 5 is definitely a capable watch going into 2021 and at the end of 2020. There are, of course, limitations with the Fenix 5 that you would get if you picked up a newer watch, such as the Garmin Forerunner 245 or 945 or Fenix 6. Like, you don't have music storage and Garmin Pay, but honestly, I don't really want either of those things. But if that's something you do want, if you want onboard music storage or the ability to pay with your watch, you're not gonna get that on this. But it does have smart notifications, so I do get texts on my phone and phone calls. That's a pretty cool feature, I must say. But overall, guys, right now, for the price that you can get it for on Amazon and wherever else they're having Black Friday deals, $250 for this watch is an absolute steal, because the Garmin Forerunner 245 I think is 479 Canadian dollars, so $150 more. And I think overall, if you don't need Garmin Pay or music storage, the Garmin Fenix 5 I think is much superior to the 245. Bit heavier, but guys, that's all for me today. The Garmin Fenix 5 is definitely worth it at the end of 2020 going into 2021 if you don't mind having those limitations and a bulkier watch. That is my conclusion. I hope you enjoyed this and got some use out of it. If you did, hit that like button down below. It means a ton. Hope you all are having a fantastic evening. See ya on the next one.